First one we're going to do, hit the calves. So let's start on the right calf. Start on your right calf, what we're going to do, back and forth. A lot of surface area to this muscle. Try to find the tightest point. For a lot of people, it's on this outside edge, so like your toes pointing out away from your body. Figure out where the tightest point is. Then we're going to apply as much pressure as you can tolerate. You can use the other leg. If you want, you can pick the leg up, pick the hips and butt up into the air. What we're going to do here is press the foot forward, hold it for a few seconds, and then pull it back in. Let's do 3-second holds on each one. So we're stretching the muscle. We're going to do this for 30 seconds. I'll tell you when. Hold it for 3 seconds, and pull it back in. So we're getting into the knots in the muscle. We're stretching it and then contracting it. Stretch the muscle here. A few more seconds. And then contract it. Can help release those tender spots. Let's go ahead and switch over to the other side. Again, spend the first 10 seconds or so exploring the muscle. Figure out where your tight points are. Don't cross over the knee and don't go into the Achilles tendon itself. So don't go this low. Figure out where the tight point is. And then again, apply as much pressure as you can tolerate to it. And then we're going to just press the toes forward. Hold for a 3 count. Pull back in. Hold for 3 count. Going to do this for 30 seconds. Pay attention to all these that we do. If you feel any numbness, tingling, shooting pains, pulsing, all those things are not what we're looking for. Any of those things, release the pressure a little bit. Don't apply as much pressure, or move to a totally different area. That's usually a nerve, or let's apply something we don't want to be rolling. All right. So let's go back to the right side. A lot of these we'll do right, left. Doesn't matter if you want to do left, right. As long as you do them both, doesn't matter. We're going to go to the peroneals. These are muscles on the sides of your lower legs, kind of just to the side of the calves. We're going to go from the knee, just below the knee, to just above the ankle bone. Figure out where the tightest points are, and then again, just stay put. You can use the other leg to apply a little extra pressure. You can lift the hips up. Get as much pressure as you can, and then what we're going to do for 30 seconds, we're going to rotate to point your sole of your foot up to the ceiling, and then rotate it back down. So you're rotating your ankle. We're doing this for 30 seconds. Up for a 3 count, keeping your knee straight the whole time, and then down. Few more seconds here. All right, let's go into the other leg now. Again, the side of the lower leg. Figure out where the tight point is. Don't cross the knee, don't cross the ankle. A lot of people, the tight points in this muscle are up kind of close to the knee, closer to the knee than the ankle. Apply as much pressure as you can tolerate, and then again, rotate your foot. Try to point the sole of your foot up to the ceiling, and then rotate it so it points down closer to the floor. 3 seconds on each. Stretch the muscle, and then contract it. We're trying to work out knots, what we call them, but part of the muscle that's tightening up or contracting when it shouldn't be. We're going to try to shut down the signal that's telling it to do that by applying pressure to it. All right. Next thing we're going to do here, we're going to go up into the hamstrings. We're going to go with the right side first. So all the way from the back of the knee up to the glute. Again, another muscle group with a lot of surface area. So spend a good 10 seconds going back and forth, rotating your leg, just explore the whole area and figure out where the tightest points are. Again, a lot of times it's going to be on the outside edge. Not necessarily though, so explore the whole thing first, figure out where the tight points are, and then again, apply as much pressure. Use the other leg. You can lift the hips and butt up in the air. We're just going to hold this for 30. Keep the leg as straight as you can. That'll help put a stretch on the muscle. If you can lift the foot up, great. If not, feel free to leave it on the ground. You're going to stay put on this one. Make sure you're breathing. Very important. Big breaths. Pull the air all the way into the midsection. We don't want to just breathe into the chest. Shallow breathing, we call that. We don't want that. We want full breaths coming all the way, expanding your rib cage. Switch over to the left side. Same thing. Spend the first 10 seconds or so back and forth. Find the tight point. Once you locate it, the tightest point, I should say, use the other leg. Apply extra pressure. You can pick the hips up in the air, keep the leg as straight as you can, and we're just holding that. Again, big breaths, full breath. Bring the air in and bring it all the way down to the midsection. Expand your rib cage, really fill that whole midsection with air. We want to kind of calm our system down, relax a little bit. A lot of us are stressed out for a million different things, and that can really affect and tighten up our muscles. So for now, for this 30 minutes with me, try to focus on deep, relaxing breaths. Make sure you're breathing. Try to calm the system down. All right. Next area we're going to go to is the inside of the thigh. Adductors or groin muscles. So I'm going to just turn around. Let's start on the right side. So almost like you're about to do a plank, lie down flat. Set the roller up parallel to your body. Bring your knee up. Drop your foot on the other side of it. And now we're going to roll back and forth from the hip to the knee. We're on the inside of the thigh right now. Figure out where your tightest points are, and then we're just going to hold that position. Really press as much as you can into the roller. Find the tight points and then just stay put. We're going 30 seconds on this one. Make sure you're breathing. Get into the knot, full deep breaths. Bring the air all the way to the midsection. Fully exhale. 30 seconds here. Try to find the most comfortable position for your arms and just other areas of the body that you're not working on. We don't want to stress out your wrists, shoulders, neck. So figure out the most comfortable position you can be in. All right, let's go ahead and we'll switch. Left side now. Again, rollers parallel to you. Set yourself up and try to keep your hips as square to the ground as possible rather than your hips rotating up. Explore the muscle first. Foot is on the other side, the outside of the roller. Back and forth, find the tight point, and then just stay put on it. This is an area, if you feel too much pulsing, just ease up on it a little bit or move. Get a lot of blood supplies for the lower legs that go right through here, so we don't want to press into them too much. It's just going to be uncomfortable. 30 seconds. Make sure you're breathing. Again, full breaths. A lot of us, when we're stressed out, we're in that like fight or flight mode. So we want to, shallow breathing, and that tenses up our muscles. So we want to focus on deep, relaxing breathing, and that in and of itself can make a big difference in your mobility and those overly tight muscles that cause us stress up here in the hips. Very important, focus on the breathing. Next one we're going to do. Front side of the hip. Well, I should say front and then over into the side. I'm gonna let you pick where your tightest point is. Let's start on that right side. I guess it's a little tough to see me. Let me turn myself on the right side first. Front side, crease of the hip, back and forth, and then you can even try to go up like this into the side. Figure out where the tightest point is. Once you get in there, what I'm gonna have you do, lift the leg up, hold it for a 3 count, drop it back down, hold it for a 3 count. Up, back down, 3 count for each one. We're doing this for 30 seconds. Again, make sure you're breathing. If you spend a lot of time seated throughout the day at a computer, driving a car, these muscles will be tight on you. So we need to do some work to release them. Let's go one more. All right, let's switch it over. Same thing. Find the tightest point on the left side now. It could be in the side. It could be more in the front. And make sure you're below. So you get the little knob in your hip bone right here. Make sure you're below that. All right? We don't want to be up towards the rib cage. That's one area we never want to be foam rollings up by your ribs. Find the tightest point, and then again, the side that you're working on, lift that leg up, back down. Doesn't matter as much where this other leg is, as long as you can still lift the bottom leg. Again, make sure you're breathing, find the best position for your arms. And we're focused on here. We don't want other areas getting stressed out while we're doing this. These muscles are part of a group of muscles we call the hip flexors. So again, when you're seated, these muscles are going to tighten up. And if they don't go, we don't address them, usually eventually ends up with some back pain or back issues, among other things. Let's go one more. All right. And now we're going to go to the front side of the thigh, the quadriceps, big muscle in the front of your thigh. Let's go right side first. Back and forth is another one of those muscle groups that has a lot of surface area. All the way from the hip down to just above the knee. Again, for a lot of people, you'll see a common theme here. It's that outside edge. Right by your IT band, which is a band like a tendon that runs down along here. Right next to that, a lot of people are tight. Figure out where your tight point is. Might not be in that spot. And then what we're going to do here, if you can, this can get a little uncomfortable. Bend your knee for a 3 count, and then back. 3 count. Up. 3 count, and then back. If that's too much, don't worry about it. Just stay down. Don't bend the knee. This can get a little intense. The more you foam roll, the less intense it will be, and you'll start to like things like this. But if it's too much right now, definitely don't force it. All right, now let's switch over to the other side. Again, same thing, left side now. Again, explore the area first. Figure out where the tightest points are. Once you get into the tight point, it might be similar to the other side, might not be. Coming up, hold for that 3 count, and right back down. Again, if it's too intense for you, just stay here. If it's getting to a point where you're shaking, your eyes are watering, you can't hold it for more than a few seconds, that's too much. Your body's gonna interpret that as danger. It's gonna tighten up all the muscles so you don't get injured, which is good. You won't get injured, but it will defeat the purpose of trying to release the muscles. So again, if it's too much, ease up on it a little bit. It shouldn't be painful. All right. If you're really tight, it can be slightly uncomfortable, but you're not looking for pain. Any pain, the body's going to protect itself and not let you release these muscles. Last one around the hips. We're going to take a seat on the roller. We're going to lean to one side. Let's lean to the right side. Pick your right ankle up, put it on top of your left knee. Back and forth. Figure out where the tightest point is. It's going to be right in the side, like the glute side of the butt. Get into that position. And then if you can, what I want you to do is lift this knee up and then drop it down, all right? 30 seconds here. So it's up, 1, 2, 3, back down. Sometimes you can do that without using the hand, it's up to you. Just gonna stretch that piriformis. It's a deep hip muscle. If your hip flexors are tight, if you're spending a lot of time seated, chances are this muscle is going to be tight as well. And if it's chronically tight, a lot of times it's going to lead to some back pain. Go one more of these. All right. Switch over to the left side. If you haven't done one of these classes before, we'll go another couple minutes rolling, and then we're just going to stretch everything out. All right, so piriformis, again, it's right in here. It's in the deeper muscle to the glute. Figure out, cross your left ankle onto the right knee. Figure out where the tightest point is. It's a small muscle, so it shouldn't be too hard to find. And then pull the knee up. That's going to stretch the piriformis, thus making it a little bit more intense. Drop it back down. Up, hold for a 3 count, stretch the muscle, and then release it. Up, stretch, then release. A few more on here. All right, we're going to hit the upper back, and we're going to start stretching. So I'm going to set the roller up just below your shoulder blades. Hold your head, keep your elbows in tight. Pick your butt up into the air if you can. Roll back and forth. We're going to do this for about 20 seconds. Back and forth over like the shoulder blade region. Make sure your elbows stay in tight. You can hold your head, support your neck. Keep your elbows in tight. Don't let the elbows flare out. And nice and tight. A few more seconds here. All right, and then another upper back muscle. The lats. These muscles right in here. Lie down on your right side. Set the roller up at your armpit. Right arm totally straight out in front of you. Thumb pointing up to the ceiling. And we're just going to roll up a little bit. You can lean back. This is a tricky area to hit. Your shoulder blades are in there. Your rib cage is in there. If you're just pressing into one of those, it's just going to be uncomfortable. Try to find some tight muscle. Once you find the muscle, just stay put on it. But again, if it feels like it's like you're just digging right into your shoulder blade or your rib cage, you probably are. So just move, find a different, more muscle, and just stay put there. Digging into the bone, you're not going to do any damage to the bones, but it's just not comfortable and not beneficial to you. The exception is these lower ribs. Always stay off of these lower ribs. They're very fragile. We don't want to be rolling anywhere near the lower ribs. We call them floating ribs because they're not connected in the front, so they're very, very delicate. You don't want to touch them. All right, let's switch it up. Left side now. Again, set it up at the armpit. Arm nice and straight. This thumb is pointing up to the ceiling. Just back. Go up a little bit. You can lean back. Figure out where you get into some tight muscle. This area is tight on a lot of us. If we round forward, we're doing computer work and things like that. A few more seconds. Make sure you're breathing again. Arm nice and straight. Don't let your elbows bend while you're doing this. All right, so now let's stretch everything out. I'm going to combine some stretches just for the sake of time. First one, we're going with a puppy pose. So you're up in a tabletop position, hands right under the shoulders, knees right under the hips. Keep your hips up in the air so your thighs stay vertical, arms totally straight, and I'm going to have you press your sternum down to the ground. Try to arch your back as much as you can. If you're super flexible, lift your head up so your head's not limiting how low you can get. We're just going to hold this for 20 seconds. Press your sternum down. Keep your elbows totally straight. It's going to stretch the lats and the mid-back as well as the chest. Very important to keep the hips up too. Don't let your hips drop back like this. We're not doing a child's pose. A few more seconds here. Keep breathing. All right. Next one, same tabletop position. We're going to step one foot directly out to the side. Let's everybody step your left foot out to the side. Lower back nice and flat. All right, don't let your lower back round. Lower back flat. Rock your hips back. Maintain that tabletop. And then lift your left arm up in the air and reach it under you. 5 times. Up as far as you can. Stretch the back. Under as far as you can. 5 of these. Really get that back to rotate as much as you can. Up to the ceiling. Down. Lower back staying flat the whole time. 5, and then we'll switch it up. Same thing. Step the leg out to the side. Low back nice and flat. Don't let that back round. Right arm up in the air and under. Right arm up and under. Other arm stays straight. All right. Next one we're going to do, I'm going to show you 2 options on this one. This can be a little tricky. We're going to try a pigeon pose. All right, front leg crossed in front of you, as close to parallel with your body as you can. Back leg, kick way back, and then either up like this, or if you're super flexible, you can drop down. My back rounds a little bit, so that'll probably be the straight arm. If that's just too much for you, figure 4 stretch. Yeah, lying on your back, all right? Either or. We'll hold the first side for another 20 seconds. All right, and let's go ahead, switch it up to the other side. Again, figure 4 stretch like this, or the pigeon pose. Demonstrate again, like this. Make sure you're breathing, same way we did during the foam roll, big full breaths. Really try to take the air, bring it all the way down to the midsection. Expand your rib cage. Full breaths, full exhales. Kind of relax that system, your nervous system. All right. Now this next one, you might want to roll up your mat a little bit. Give yourself a little cushion for the knee. We're going to go one leg way back, knee down. We're going to lunge forward, and if you can, try to reach your arms up to the ceiling. If that's too much, hand on the knee and just one arm up, the side of the legs back. Hold this position, should feel a good stretch, front side. Go ahead and switch. Again, one foot out front, lean into it, reach straight out. A couple stretches left here. Look straight ahead, really drop your hips forward. All right. Next one. Same position to start in, but we're going to take front knee, bring it out to the side. So it's perpendicular, about 6 inches from this knee here to this heel. Keep the crown of your head high. We're going to shift our weight forward towards this knee. Hold it for a 2 count, and then back. Should feel a good stretch in this lower leg, even almost into the Achilles. Get heel nice and high. Crown of the head nice and high. I'm going to try 5 of these. Holding for 2 seconds each time. All right, go ahead, switch to the other side. Again, nice and upright to start, kneeling position, and then you just step this foot 90 degrees out, about 6 inches between the heel and the knee, crown of your head high. Push the knee forward, hold it for a 2 count, and then back. Keep the heel on the ground the whole time. So it's forward, 2 count, and then back. 3 more. Should feel a stretch in here. Crown of the head high, and back. All right, and then last one. I almost forgot about the hamstrings. Lie down flat on your back. Keep the left knee flat on the ground. Press it into the ground. Grab hold of your right knee behind or back of the thigh. Try to straighten the leg up as much as you can. Hold for a 2 count, and then right back down. We're going to do 6 of these. 2 count, and right back down. If you're super flexible and you can do that easily, pull the leg closer to you. If you're not very flexible and you can't really straighten it, release it a little bit. 6 of them. Should be a challenge to get the leg straight. Just get it as close to straight as you can. We'll go ahead, switch to the other side, same thing, 6. Make sure this other knee stays down, don't let it come up.